Hi everybody, welcome once again to a Low on Health Daily Rambling, just me going over what I've done the last past day or so, and I will tell you this, a lot of watching. I did play a little bit of Modern Warfare 2 today, but not much. A good chunk of my day was basically spent watching an anime series, which I'll get to later. But just want to mention, I don't know if you remember, if you watched the last episode, I mentioned I finished Brain Powered and moved on to a new series. Actually, I started that new series right after I finished editing and uploading yesterday's episode. Or video or update, however you want to call it, and really couldn't stop watching that series. I didn't go to bed till probably 7 or 8 a.m. In my time, which officially puts my time and sleeping schedule out the freaking window, but this anime series is just really good and I couldn't stop watching it. But I'll get back to that later on. I'm going to talk about it in detail in a couple minutes here, but I just want to mention that, man, interesting. And right now I'm recording this just to give you a timestamp at about 6 a.m. So I'll probably won't get to bed until the same time because I'll get to it in a second. Just moving on to some basic stuff here. I did want to mention Kotaku had this little thing up about a little remix, a little audio song, a little about basically taking the Mass Effect 2 probing planetary scanning kind of sounds and music and kind of remixing together into a nice little catchy ditty, a little song, in which case there are no spoilers in the song. There's basically one version of the song which kind of has a little rap that goes along with it. That's that link right there. But there's also one that's just kind of instrumental, which I kind of like because it doesn't have the rap part of it. The rap's not bad, but it's kind of cool. I mean, it has a lot of audio bites from the game, and it's just a nice, soothing, relaxing thing. And if you spent way too much time probing and gathering resources like I did, you kind of like the little remix there. But you can get that off of Kotaku. I mean, just kind of search for Mass Effect, go off of the tags. Moving on, Japaninator mentions that Funimation has licensed Trigun. Trigun, actually, when it comes down to it, I've been working on some of my decade stuff. It's up there in my animes of the year, and I'll go on ranting on Trigun at another time. But it looks like Funimation has actually picked up Trigun, which we all know Trigun went from Pioneer to Geneon, and now it's going to Funimation. So, which means Funimation's gotta have a good thing there. And of course, we're all kind of hoping that they just release, a standard box set, and hopefully they'll do the remix of it, which was kind of a little bit polished up video and basically 5:1 audio. And this is actually something, looking into it, depending on how everything works out in the future for me, I really might pick up this remix version when it comes out in the fall winter of 2010. I really enjoy Trigun, and just been kind of in an anime mood recently. But I definitely recommend, keeping an eye out for that one and while watching Trigun. Now, what I want to get to before is basically, after I watched Brain Powered and was kind of disappointed, but I wanted to go for a kind of a harder anime series, so I went with Gangst, or Gag Sawa, I don't know however you want to pronounce it. In which case, I started watching it last night, morning, however you want to look at it, and just couldn't stop watching it. It's very addicting. It definitely made me want to watch what's going to happen next episode. And I did watch it subtitled this time around, Japanese, with English subtitles. But man, this series, I don't know what it was about it, but it was just the first couple episodes were really addicting. I don't want to go into what exactly it's about, but the series is, very graphic. It's very gory. It's got a lot of provocative, kind of sexy scenes in it. A lot of death, a lot of violence, and I kind of like that real hard realism to it. And basically, what happens a lot is, as I started watching it, and then I had to go to sleep, and then I woke up and started watching it right again. The pacing starts to get kind of slower, but you definitely want to watch it again. And it's basically a group of people that die, they get resurrected in a room, and they're told to kill an alien. At first, I was kind of hoping that the first group of people that get resurrected in this room kind of gang up and get together, but you get a lot and I was hoping that key group would be going through this series, and you basically get episode of them going after different aliens. But apparently, really there's only 3 or 4 different hunts in this anime series, and a lot of it is basically dealing with the people and their interactions. Basically, when a bunch of people die in a night and they all resurrect in a room, you get, the Yakuza, you get religious people, you get people that think they know more than others, you get quiet people, and there's the usual, 12 Angry Men syndrome with basically everybody wondering about everybody's background, who they can trust, who they can't trust, what's really going on. And I just really, really usually hate that type of stuff. It's just like suspenseful moments. I usually really hate that type of pacing, but for some reason I really enjoyed it in this series, and it just was addicting. I don't know, it's just weird. I don't know if I was just really haven't watched a good anime series recently. But something I realized after watching this is started to get attached to certain characters, and this series loves just killing off characters. I mean, not to spoil it, but I know nobody watching this is ever going to watch this series. Like prior to the last 6 episodes, two of the main characters out of the 3 die. They legitimately just die, and I really, really liked that. At first I always just kind of hated it, but I liked that it did that. And this series, I don't know what it was. I just hate to keep rambling on about it, but I really like that part about it. Of course, one thing I didn't like about it doesn't answer all the questions. Sometimes I like it when everything gets answered. Things slowly get kind of alluded to, and they kind of have to figure out what's going on themselves. But it doesn't really answer all the questions that get presented. And now that I've watched it, I'm doing research now, of course, so you can see how gory it is. And I do apologize if I didn't say gore warning. But I've actually gone online, looked at the complete arc for it in the manga, which apparently is still going, or kind of not still going, but apparently has like a 300 volume manga going on with it. So the anime series is kind of once again a truncated version of it. Wow, I didn't know they could put this much gory type of stuff on YouTube. Wow. So now I'm looking at the manga and kind of getting the gist of it, but I just really like the people's relationships, how they evolve. It's basically just like kind of a movie based, because it's basically people that meet together for one night, how they get along together, and then if they survive afterwards, how they deal with that. Because if you survive that one night, you're going to get called back there, but you can go back to your normal life. And it's just really, really interesting. And I always thought it was kind of exploited, this series, but man, it's just really, really refreshing and nice to see something like this. It's a 2004, 2006 production, so I mean it's relatively recent. But I don't know, if you're just looking for an anime series, I'm pretty sure this is for rental up on Netflix and stuff. Give it a shot. It's definitely entertaining and thought-provoking and just visceral. And I hate to keep rambling on it, but basically in the last past day, I bulldozed through this series, and it was just really fun, and I want to recommend it to some people. Ganks. Fun and enjoyable. So I'm going to stop there. I do once again, of course, want to say thank you to everybody for watching, and I'll catch you next time.